Hey everybody, it's Cheyenne. So today I just wanted to take some time to talk about some stuff. I was talking to one of my friends on Facebook, and he's going through a rough time, and he doesn't know who he can trust and who he can't trust. I'm not going to mention names because that's just wrong. It's none of my business to mention who they are. This is their life. But I wanted to bring up some stuff with love and friendship and knowing the difference between someone who's really going to be there for you and someone who's there only when they need you. So, when it comes to friends and who we trust and who we don't know whether or not we should trust and who we think we're falling in love with and such, we get very insecure. And we don't want to be careful about everything that they do. Because everyone thinks that by being careful you can't trust them or stuff like that. But when I say someone should be careful with a friendship or be careful when heading into a relationship, and it's not about changing who you are, it's not changing about who you are around them, it's about changing the way you look at things. And you can still have an open mind and trust someone while being careful about things. So if you're about to enter a relationship and you've had some problems with relationships before and you don't know if you can trust this relationship, take a moment to step back before you go to enter that relationship and think about the person that you're entering the relationship with. Think about what you know about them in general. You don't have to think about the little things. The little things will help, but the big picture is the main thing you want to look at. So what do you know about them? What don't you know about them? What do you want to know? And think about all that before you enter that relationship, because if you enter that relationship not knowing enough about them and you find out about that stuff later, you're going to regret it. It's going to make you not want to trust them. It's going to make you think that you can't trust them. And it's going to make it harder for your relationships in the future. You can still like someone, you can still be friends with someone, or you can still fall in love with someone, and be careful about it. You don't have to choose between the two. And being careful about what relationships you enter into and what you know about the people and stuff like that, it helps you become more trustful of the people, and it helps you know what you want and know what you're looking for. Maybe what you're looking for isn't an exact list. Actually it's better not to have an exact list. But, maybe a general idea. Maybe you want them to be, kind of kind at least, or something like that. And, the more you look at relationships and you look at the kind of people who you can't trust and the kind of people who you can, you start to see different characteristics, different personalities. And so there's actually a set personality type or trait or something that you'll notice in each kind of person. Actually, in an abusive relationship, one of the main things that you can notice about the person before they start, hitting and stuff like that, is that they're going to be very controlling. They're going to try and control what you wear and what friends you hang out with and when you hang out with them, and they try to control your life. And so that's something that you notice in most abusive relationships. Now, that is a generalized thing. It's not 100% every single relationship like that's going to be like that. Just because someone's controlling doesn't mean they're going to be abusive. Sometimes it's not. It's a back and forth thing. But if you know what you want and you know what you're looking for and you know what things to look out for, then it's going to help you find someone who you think you can trust and who you can fall for completely, knowing that it's not going to hurt you. Or, no, that's... Alright, something else you should know in a relationship that a lot of people know, but a lot of people I know also don't, is in a relationship there are going to be times when you fight, and there are going to be times when they hurt you and they make you cry and, maybe not necessarily physically hurt you, but emotionally hurt you, because when you fight, you get emotionally hurt. The thing is, in that relationship, if it is a good relationship, then they make all those fights worth it. They make you want to fight to keep, what they have staying strong. And as for friends, if you are friends with someone who only talks to you now and then, but when it comes to just talking to them when, you need someone to talk to, or talking to them when something important in your life is going on and they're not there, then that shows something about the person, that they're not a true friend. A true friend is someone who's going to be there for you whenever they can, however they can, even if it's a couple minutes later from when they messaged you, even if it's, they're going to be there when they can, as soon as they can. And if it's someone who's not that busy and they just aren't talking, then it's a sign that, maybe they don't actually care about you the way they say they do. And that's also a sign that maybe that friendship isn't as much worth as putting your all into it as it would be with a friend who's going to be there for you no matter what. Now, it's kind of touchy subject, because you don't just want to, cut off all your friends except for the ones that talk to you and stuff. Maybe you can still be friends with that person, but don't, just immediately put your all into them and, put all that weight hoping that it'll land on their shoulders, because if you just throw all the weight that you have in the world up in the air and hope that it'll land on someone else's shoulders, it could come back down and hit you harder than it ever did before. And it hurts. But, maybe finding a friend who loves you for you, who's going to be there, and, maybe talk to them about some stuff, kind of see if you can just get the weight to go away. You don't have to pass the weight on to someone else. You can just talk about it, get it off your chest, and it'll go away. You just have to let it. And a lot of things that I say to my friends when it comes to stuff like this, with the weight on their shoulders and, how they see themselves and how they think about themselves and about all the problems in their life, you can get through anything. Anything, any problem, you can solve it and you can get through it. The only thing that's stopping you is that mindset saying that you can't do it. Because as long as you think that you cannot do something, you won't be able to do it, because you're putting yourself down, you're pulling yourself back from that full potential that you have. And everybody has this amazing potential to do great things, to move mountains, to shape society into a better image. But they pull themselves back for that, and they tell themselves that they can't do it because they're scared that they can't. And in telling themselves that they can't do it, they just kind of cut off their potential, and so they have all this extra potential waiting, but they're stuck behind this wall that they built themselves. That's why I always tell people that they have to look at things with an open mind. You have to look at it like, it might be hard, but I can do this. It might take time, but if I really want it, if I really push for it, I will get this. And trust me, it works out. If you keep pushing and keep pushing and keep trying and believe in yourself and just keep going, you will make it. I've said this before, the only way you can ever fail is when you give up. And yes, I learned that from a Disney movie, but it's a pretty true saying. If you think about it, if you keep trying at something, like say maybe you are a skateboarder and you're working on doing a 360 in the air or board grab. I'm probably not even saying these right. I don't know too much about skateboarding. I know a little bit here and there, and then sadly kaput. Every time I try skateboarding, I end up just hurting myself. One of the times I tried, I landed on my face. Other time, I almost did the splits. It was not pretty. But, if you keep telling yourself that you can't do it, and if you just stop trying, then that's the only time you're ever going to fail. But let's say you keep trying, and yeah, you're going to fall off, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get scrapes and bruises and scars. But if you keep trying, then eventually, yeah, you're going to get it down, and you're going to get that 360 flip in midair, or and it's gonna feel amazing once you get it down. It's gonna feel amazing every time you get better at it. So you just have to keep trying. It's gonna be hard. At times you're gonna feel down about it. You're going to want to give up at times with some of these things, but don't give up. Even with friendship. Even with pushing yourself through your darkest moments, you can't give up. I know a lot of people are probably in a moment where it seems like the world is just spinning too fast and you're just stuck in this moment. But don't give up. Keep pushing through, and I promise things are gonna get better. Just don't tell yourself you can't do it, because you can. You can do anything. And all the people who put you down, just ignore them. Or, if you want, use them to push you farther. Because, like in video games where you have something that's supposed to stop you. There's this thing I read. One thing that video games teach us is that if there are people who are trying to stop you, then you're going the right way. And just like you would in video games, you keep pushing through and you're going to get through them. They're not always going to be there. So don't give up. And as for your friends and your relationships, everything you do is up to you. Keep an open mind, trust people, but be careful with it. Just not too careful. And remember that it's not changing you, it's changing what you view, or how you view it. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. If you want some advice on something, make sure to comment. I will do my best to get up there and get it done. Once again, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys later.